Injuries related to the effects of repetitive motion are some of the most common injuries in the workplace today and are some of the low-key, most debilitating injuries that exist. Throughout my career, this has been the most common type of injury that I've run across and affects a wider variety of work than you might think. I think if you were to poll the average person, the most likely answer you would get to the question what causes repetitive motion injuries would probably be something like working on a production line, a construction site, or other quote-unquote manual labor tasks. And they would absolutely be right. The example I'll share today is to illustrate that a task doesn't need to be repetitive for years and years and years to be detrimental. In another life, I worked at a big box home improvement store. Best guess in the comments as to which one. And one day an aisle planogram came down from those that make planograms that displayed 25,000 BTU air conditioners on bare shelves at about shoulder height to be picked by the general public. Typically, these types of window air conditioners weigh between 120 and 150 pounds. Most commonly, items of this type of weight are kept at floor level, whether employees are going to be picking them up for customers or if customers are going to be picking them up themselves. But regardless,
so let it be written. So let it be done.
And this is the task that fell to me. I was left with a planogram and no real clear way of how it was to be accomplished other than heavy thing on shelf. The safest way I could come up with at the time to accomplish this was to grab a standard store shopping cart, lift the box from the ground to the shopping cart, move the shopping cart near the shelf, then lift it again into the shelf. Now, if you're imagining this the way that I actually did it and the way I remember it, you can probably already see the issue. No matter how you positioned the shopping cart, the only way to get the air conditioner from the shopping cart to the shelf was to grab it and twist at mid-body and put it into the shelf that way. By the end of the task, I was certainly tired, but there really was no indication that I was going to feel any lasting effects from it. Fast forward 2 years, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a very specific pain starts in my lower back, and I start having trouble standing up straight. This continues to happen every now and then, and over many times of experiencing it, the one thing I notice is that my back ends up going out when I do a similar motion to when I was lifting the air conditioners. So why is this a repetitive motion as opposed to overexertion example? Because if it was simple overexertion, I would have noticed the issue immediately and would have been able to immediately take steps to mitigate its lasting effects. The fact that this took 2 years to manifest and that it hasn't gone away is definitely a repetitive motion issue. And I use this example because repetitive motion doesn't have to take years and years and years to cause detrimental effects. In fact, the planogram was changed back so quickly we never had to restock the shelves. There certainly are a ton of ways to prevent repetitive motion injuries in industry, but they have to be considered as part of the plan before implementation, or the plan may get derailed.